Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Wife told me I need to not be grumpy. Okay, here's what happened. This morning, my wife woke up an hour before I did, which isn't typical. I usually wake up first. I wake up and am a little grumpy. Not because I'm mad at her, but because it takes me time to wake up in the morning. That's just how I am, and we both know it. We end up needing to log into something and reset a password. At one point, I ask a question, and she snaps at me. Not vicious, but it was rude. I called her out and asked why she needed to respond that way. We end up arguing, and she tells me that I've been grumpy the last few days and need to stop being grumpy. I respond and tell her that I'm not okay with her being rude for no reason. After that, she apologized somewhat sarcastically, so I called her out for that and told her that she would never accept that type of apology from me, because she's always telling me my apologies need to be genuine and would never let me apologize that way, even though my apologies are never that sarcastic. That's the background, and here's my main question that I'm interested in getting an opinion on. The part that bugs me the most is her telling me I can't be grumpy. If I'm grumpy and mean to her, that's one thing. But if I'm grumpy and need some time to wake up, then I'm grumpy and need some time to wake up. There are times where my wife is upset or angry, and I always try to tell her it's okay for her to be upset as long as she's not mean. We're all human after all, and are going to be upset at times, grumpy at times, etc. As spouses, I think it's a bad idea to regulate our spouse's emotions and tell them they can't be a certain way or have to be a certain way. My main question is this: am I looking at this right? I feel dumb asking the internet to referee, but it can be hard to know what's up and what's down in these types of situations. I'd love to get some thoughts on this if anyone has some sage advice. I can also add that we recently came back from a 3-week trip to Italy, which means sleep has been a little off, etc. I mention that to say that affects my ability to be cheery even more, in addition to already needing space in the morning to wake up. Edit. One other thing I forgot to mention is that I was being very civil when we were working on the password situation. I asked a question to clarify something, then she snapped at me and said it was related to me not listening. Just trying to emphasize I wasn't being rude or mean or uncivil when this happened. Update. Okay, we had a chance to talk. After reflecting, she realized she assumed in her head I was blaming her for something related to the password when I wasn't. She realized she took something the wrong way out of context and got mad at me about it. We also talked about how there are some things on both sides we need to work through, and how it's difficult for her to talk about stuff like this since she's avoidant. Anyway, we're going to keep working through everything. You're all welcome to say some prayers for us if you'd like. My thoughts. It's understandable to see both perspectives in this situation. On one hand, recognizing your own tendency to be grumpy in the morning suggests a need for setting boundaries or finding ways to manage this behavior better. Whether through self-awareness or implementing a system to minimize interaction until you're fully awake and in a better mood, addressing this issue proactively could improve the situation. However, it's also important to acknowledge the impact of your grumpiness on your partner. Being in a bad mood can understandably make others feel uncomfortable or upset. While it's not fair to expect someone to simply tolerate your mood without reaction, it's also essential to communicate and address concerns in a constructive manner. If your partner mentioned your grumpiness persisting for several days, it may indicate a larger pattern of behavior that needs attention and resolution. Ultimately, finding a balance between self-regulation and empathy for your partner's feelings is key to maintaining a healthy relationship dynamic. Did you miss my previous video? How dare you? Just kidding. Catch you in this video?